This is Lou Groza of the Cleveland Browns. Hi, Ohio for Cleveland.
During his career with the Cleveland Browns, quarterback Otto Graham's wholesome image off the field belied his competitive fire on him.
I would rather win than lose. Any good athlete in any sport would rather win than lose. That's the most important thing by far. Who cares who gets the credit? Who gets the picture of the paper? What was the final score? That counts.
A tailback in college, Graham was extremely mobile, but it wasn't long before he mastered the mechanics of Coach Paul Brown's precision passing game. He earned all league honors 9 times, and in each of his 10 seasons, guided the Browns to the title game.
No man ever took a team into the final game of the season as many times as he did. They call it the Super Bowl today. In those days, it was called the World Championship.
In 1955, his last year with the Browns, Graham led the team to a championship and became the first pro football player to receive the S-rating doctrine, which from 1950 to 1976 was awarded to the Professional Athlete of the Year.
Tim Brown was, he's in another league.
I think of 3 numbers with Jim Brown. 104.3. That's the number of rushing yards per game that he gained over the course of his career. That's the highest in NFL history. I think of 5.2. That's the average yards per carry that Jim Brown had in his career. That is the highest in the history of the league. And I think of 0, the number of games that he missed. Brown led the league in rushing 8 times over a 9-year period. Nobody's ever led baseball 8 times in 9 years in home runs. An NHL player has never done that in terms of leading the league in goals scored. Nobody's led the NBA 8 times in 9 consecutive seasons in scoring.
You can't measure it on yards, but you got to measure it on impact. What you had to do when you faced him. This is one man, and you couldn't stop him.
He did things on a football field that I have never seen since. Did it continually. He'd go against the grain, against the Giants, and just cut across the field and shedding tacklers.
After the game in our locker room, Weep says, they think Jim Brown is so good. If they'd have took that 60-yard run away from him, if they'd have took that 32-yard run away from him, if they'd have took that 18-yard run away from him, he wouldn't have done anything. God, that's the trouble with a guy like Jim Brown. He always gets those 60-yard runs or those 30-yard runs or those 20. That's what makes Jim Brown what he is.
Jim Brown, the greatest running back that has ever breathed.
I've always felt that Jim Brown's the only guy I've ever known who at 50 years old, I would have bet he could have gained 1,000 yards in the NFL at 50.
I was so happy when he retired, he ain't getting no gripes from me.
I played 9 years, and I left at the age of 29 years old, and I was MVP of the league. And that's what I wanted to do.
Never saw anyone with a bigger ego that could back it up, who wasn't a braggart. He was a good team player.
He instilled that kind of a competitiveness, confidence in us, and in the huddle on game day, you know, boy, you'd hear him say it over and over and over. This is our play. This is what we wanted. You know, we called for it. Let's go get it. You know, that kind of thing, and always upbeat, but always pushing.
Until you lined up next to this guy and watched him time after time in very tough, crucial situations make it come out all right for the Cleveland Browns, you can't fully respect how good he was. If we had the capabilities today to show him from 15 different angles, people would say that was not a human.
Yeah, he was a freak. At the time, I mean, everybody was in awe of what you were seeing. He was like a before his time kind of player.
The 32nd National Football League Championship game pits the Cleveland Browns against the Baltimore Colts. As Municipal Stadium is made ready for the historic battle, let's examine some facts. The Colts are the third highest scoring team in league history. In 1964, they led the NFL in both scoring and total offense. The Browns may match Baltimore's offensive firepower, but still, they are overwhelming underdogs. $79,544 fans are not convinced. The Browns, too, are unawed. Defensive back Larry Benz appears calmly confident, as does all-pro offensive tackle Dick Shaprath. After all, upsets are not foreign to the NFL. Cleveland defense dominates the first half action. The slow-motion camera illustrates a high point in the first half. Baltimore's John Unitas throws a screen pass to Lenny Moore. Moore is well escorted by blockers. Cleveland linebacker Galen Fiss blows through the defenders and bowls over Moore like a 10-pin. The first half ends in a scoreless tie. In the third period, Cleveland gets moving. Frank Ryan's screen pass is taken by Jim Brown to the Baltimore 37, and the Browns are within field goal range.
Browns,
Lou Groza, assisted by a 25-mile-an-hour wind, kicks a 43-yard field goal to give the underdog Browns a 3-point edge. This is Groza's 8th title game, which ties a record, and his 7th field goal sets another record.
Groza's kick is good.
After forcing Baltimore to punt, the Browns attack from their double wing formation. With superb blocking by Monty Clark and Gene Hickerson, Jim Brown bolts through the Colts for a gain of 46 yards.
Brown, the ball carrier.
On the following play, Ryan goes to the post pattern pass, which worked all season long. It works again, with Gary Collins making a touchdown reception to put the Browns on top by 10. The defense stops Baltimore again, but nobody is stopping the Browns. Ryan finds Collins as free as a bird. He wings him with another touchdown, and the Browns own a startling 17-point advantage. Cleveland regains possession, and Jim Brown gains the yards, 23 of them to be precise, as he overpowers the Colts for a first down at the 14. The quarter ends, but the Cleveland momentum does not. It carries into the final period with Ryan zipping a pass to Warfield on the Baltimore 1. Jim Brown tries for the touchdown. The slow motion camera reveals cause for argument. The debate is Cleveland's only loss of the day, as the officials rule that Brown did not score. With a field goal, Lou Groza scores his 49th point in championship play, a league record. The Browns lead 20-0, and Cleveland is grateful.
Groza's kick is
good. More defensive heroics. John Unitas, in the most frustrating performance of his career, is pinned to the turf by young Jim Kanicki, who came of age in his first exposure to championship play. The scene is set for the play of the day. Frank Ryan caps a glittering performance with a towering pass. Bobby Boyd sticks to Gary Collins like a wet shirt, but the lanky flanker makes an impossible catch for an impossible finish to an unbelievable game. The Browns have accomplished what the experts said could not be done. They beat and shut out the Baltimore Colts 27-0. The finest all-around effort in the club's history makes the Cleveland Browns worthy wearers of football's World Championship.
It's 1:45. I gotta get up. It's kickoff time and 15 bells. Cleveland Browns are gonna give them hell with Jackson all over and Lyle on the line. Pruitt and Logan doing real fine. Offense, defense doing their thing. When side throws the ball, you'd swear it had wings. That's the Cleveland Browns. When they're psyched up, you can't shut them down. Take your tranquilizers, pop your beer can lids. It's the Cardiac Kids. Sam and the team got together one day and put plutonium in the Gatorade. He said, Super Bowl time is coming on fast. Let's hit Pasadena like an atomic blast. He said, we shot down bears and we melted steel. We can de-feather eagles, make Seahawks squeal. Knock down tigers and oil wells. We're the Cleveland Browns and we gave them hell. That's the Cleveland Browns. When they're psyched up, you can't shut them down. Take your tranquilizers, pop your beer can lids. It's the Cardiac Kids. stay in the sack. Don't go to the game, just lay right back. Away from the tube and the radio. You're much better off if you just don't know what's going on in the game right now. It's always a winner, but just somehow looks like defeat. And they pull a trick, win the game with a cock-off kick. That's the Cleveland Browns. When they're psyched up, you can't shut them down. Take your tranquilizers, pop your beer can lids. It's the Cardiac Kids. My preacher told me I was sacrilegious for making the Browns sound so prestigious. He told me that it was just a game and I was rooting for a team only in vain. I got naive and believed his word. Then I found out he was from Pittsburgh. Now the devil's gonna get him another soul. Thou shalt not lie, Reverend Noel. That's the Cleveland Browns. When they're psyched up, you can't shut them down. Take your tranquilizers, pop your beer can lids. It's the Cardiac Kids. On Sundays, my wife thinks I'm lazy, and some of you might think I'm crazy. For the first time, I saw God last night, and you know he was wearing orange and white. That's the Cleveland Browns. When they're psyched up, you can't shut them down. Take your tranquilizers, pop your beer can lids. It's the Cardiac Kids. Slide back and throw. It's the Cardiac Kids. Touchdown Cleveland. It's the Cardiac Kids. Yeah.
Down to the wire, or are we going to go down to the wire? Yeah, why not? Done it all year. It is coming down to the final nail-biting seconds. Time to get nervous. Cardiac Kids are at it again.
You'll be able to set this block up and work your way right into that Washington.
In 1979 and 1980, the Cleveland Browns prepared for each game in much the same manner as the teams they were about to play. However, the results they achieved with the game on the line in the final seconds were something that nobody could have prepared for.
It's going to be a dogfight, and we know that it literally can come down to the very last play of the game, and regardless of what happens, just hang in there together.
52 seconds to play, and the Cardiac Kids are at work today. Sight back to throw. He throws in the end zone. It is a touchdown! Touchdown! Cleveland with 52 seconds left.
Great call! What a great call! What a great call!
Another Cardiac Kids.
Great call! Particularly at the end of the game, if you give me 4 downs to throw, and if you can throw on 4th down, I'm gonna complete one of those and make a first down. So particularly at the end of the game like that, I'm gonna be throwing all the time.
We're in sudden death. Back to throw. Side looks and throws it deep to Rucker. He's open. Touchdown! It's over! Jesse Rucker has the sight. He wins the ball game.
I don't think that Browns team ever panicked. So many games came down to the last 2 months, and we were extremely confident. We were almost cocky in terms of what we felt like we could do. And it was a combination of excellent play, quarterback with blindside, and a number of receivers who just enjoyed being in situations like that. During 2 dazzling seasons, the Browns won 14 games in the final 2 minutes or in overtime. Cleveland constantly stretched their abilities and the sense of humor of their head coach to the limits.
You have 2 timeouts in overtime. There's no carryover. You have 2 Pittsburgh athletes.
Do we get anything to eat?
Don't get anything.
Each week, Sam Rutigliano reviewed game films that had more improbable twists and turns than a Hollywood movie.
What we do best is throwing a football, and beside anything else that you would do would be increasingly boring.
In 1980, the Cleveland Browns were a lot of things, but boring was never one of them. This team was exciting even when they lost.
Browns lead by 1 point. Kramer to throw. There goes the alley-oop. He plays it. It's caught for a touchdown! The Browns led for 59 minutes and 59 seconds and lose the game. Browns won more games than they lost at the wire.
Come on, baby, one time, baby, one time.
Clock down to 34 seconds. Oh, it's time to get nervous. Sipe, 3rd and 20. Throwing to Logan. He got it on the 20. 5 touchdown, Dave Logan. I don't believe it. Cleveland's ability to beat the clock earned them 11 victories, and appropriately, they won the AFC Central Division Championship on the last play of the last game of the regular season. 2 seconds, 1 second, it's over! The Browns have won the championship! This emotional roller coaster lifted the Browns into the AFC playoffs, where they would host the Oakland Raiders. On a Sunday better suited for Penguins, late in the fourth quarter, the Browns desperately needed one more miracle.
I can remember in the huddle of the final drive of the Raider game, it was virtually the same as it had been the entire year. We knew we were going to win. I mean, there was no doubt in anybody's mind that we were going to go down and score.
Starting on their own 14-yard line, the Browns raced the clock, battled the Raiders, and fought off the freezing elements in one last gallant attempt to rescue victory. Rolled to the Raider 13-yard line. But though they needed only a field goal to win, the Browns elected to roll the dice one final time.
Red shot right, you do regular. The red shot right, this starts the 88.
The ball on the 13-yard line of the Raiders, who lead 14-12. But with Cleveland needing only a field goal, the Browns appear to be in the driver's seat. An electrifying season had come to a shocking end. In the years to follow, the comeback magic that once made the Cleveland Browns one of pro football's best in the crunch never returned.
If you look at what happened in 1980, without question, we lived in the crunch. As it turned out, we died in the crunch.
And tonight, this makes news. A massive crowd at Hopkins Airport as the glorious Cleveland Browns returned home with the AFC Central Division Championship inside their pockets.
On the first day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the second day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me Don Cockcroft kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the third day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me Brian Sipe pass and Don Cockcroft kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the fourth day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me Al Zato attacking Brian Sipe pass and Don Cockcroft kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the fifth day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the 6th day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me Newsome catching both the Pruitt's moves. Al Zeta attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the 7th day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me Darden intercepting Newsome catching both the Pruitt's moves. Al Zeta attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the 8th day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me the Cardiac Kids a winning, Darden intercepting Newsome catching both the Pruitt's moves. Al Zeta attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the 9th day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me DeLeona hiking, Cardiac Kids a winning, Darden intercepting Newsome catching both the Pruitt's moves. Al Zeta attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the 10th day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me Doug Deacon blocking, DeLeona hiking, Cardiac Kids a winning, Darden intercepting Newsome catching both the Pruitt's moves. Al Zeta attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the 11th day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me Dave Logan leaping, Doug Deacon blocking, DeLeona hiking, Cardiac Kids a winning, Darden intercepting Newsome catching both the Pruitt's moves. Al Zeta attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team. On the 12th day of Christmas, Art Modell gave to me the Browns in the playoffs, Dave Logan leaping, Doug Deacon blocking, DeLeona hiking, Cardiac Kids a winning, Darden intercepting, Newsome catching, all the Pruitt's moves. Al Zeta attacking Brian Seifer, passing Don Cockcroft, kicking on a Ritigliano Super Bowl team.
Life. And you know, Terry, you go back to the 1970s when you suffered a serious head and neck injury in a game against Cleveland. Things have certainly come a long way since then.
Well, they have, Kurt. Joe Jones grabs me here and pulls me up and then just kind of plows me into the ground, and I had a spinal concussion, a contusion. I was taken off the field on a board, put into the in between the locker rooms. They didn't have one, so they took a door off of a locker room and put me on top of that door, strapped me down, no x-ray machines, and I stayed outside in the hall until the game was over. They took me to the airport, set me on the top of the seats of the plane, flew me to Pittsburgh. Then I got x-rayed and had no feeling for 2 days, and the third day the feeling started from my toes and worked its way up.
Cleveland's got new energy. The stadium's alive. Cause the #1 enemy is coming up the drive. All the little kids on the Pee Wee teams can beat them up, beat them up. My mother and my brother and my sister all agree. Pittsburgh sucks, 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 Pittsburgh sucks. Their offense is offensive. They run like girls. Their defense used to dominate. Now they're worst in the world. All the little ladies in the nursing homes can't beat them up, beat them up. They got a stinky tight end and a smelly snapper. Pittsburgh sucks, 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 Pittsburgh sucks. Their running backs are all big stiffs. Will force their bus right off the cliff. They stink Pittsburgh sucks. 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 Pittsburgh sucks.
Throwing his body around. Surefire Hall of Famer.
Mark Royals punting to Metcalf. Backpedals to take it at the 10. And a good return. He's got a blocker in front. Metcalf cuts back. Turns on the afterburner. Metcalf will go 90 yards.
What is it about this place?
There may be your answer right there. The longest of his career, 90 yards. A team record for the Browns. Officially 91 yards for Metcalf as he backpedals to take it right there.
There was a lot of question as to whether or not Metcalf was even going to play in this game. He was struggling with a knee injury. As you can see him limping down the field here at about a 4.2 pace. Wow. There are some moments in the National Football League where you don't mind paying the 25 or 30 bucks for a ticket when you watch a kid like this play the game.
Got a good block from Eric Turner to help spring him. First punt return for a touchdown against Pittsburgh since 1984. Officially 91 yards as lightning strikes twice at Cleveland Stadium. 2 long plays and the Browns up 14-0.
I think that little sign said it all.
Time. Here's Royals on the punt. Gets the kick away. Driving Metcalf all the way back to the 25. Ahead to the 30. Outside to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. In the Steelers' territory, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, 15. Touchdown Browns! Unbelievable! You'll never see a better return than that. Eric Metcalf has brought this stadium to its feet. It's Pandemonium Palace.
Reed into the ball, and he lines it down the field. It bounces, and Cripps had it bounce off him. That's a live ball. Back by the goal line. He's got to come out with it. He's to the 5. He angles. He's up the sideline. He's still running. He's to the 20, 25, 30. He's to the 40. He's down the sideline and angles left. He's to the 35, 30, 25, 20. He's got blockers in front. 5. Touchdown! Joshua Cripps turns disaster into a score. Unbelievable run. 100 yards for Cripps.
Ended the contest. Webster Slaughter's 36-yard touchdown reception gave the Browns their first season sweep over the Steelers since 1969. The 37-31 victory also kept Cleveland tied with Cincinnati for first place in the AFC Central at 8-4. Cleveland.
And at quarterback, number 19. Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah. Bernie, oh baby, super Bowl. He came from Miami, was oh so young. Rifle to the Wizards, my what a gun. Makes the snap, drops back, looks down the field. Brennan breaks open the victory shield. Bernie, Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bernie, Bernie, oh baby, Super Bowl. The dogs are barking, we're all having fun. Bernie will lead us to that place in the sun. Got style, class, and he's 23. The MVP of the AFC. Bernie, Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bernie, Bernie, oh baby, Super Bowl. Make the big play. He's got style and class at age 23. The MVP of the AFC. Bernie, Bernie, oh yeah, how you can throw. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bernie, Bernie, oh baby, Super Bowl. We gotta go. Super Bowl. We gotta go now. Super Bowl. Go Browns!
Tell you this, you give them anything at all to root about. Cleveland is one of the great sports cities in the country. 80,000 ready to roar right now as they introduce the Browns. Let's go to Don Criqui.
Cleveland Stadium, rocking and rolling. They've not had a playoff game here since 1980 on that bitter cold day. And they lost to the Raiders. Now the Browns being introduced before 80,000.
Number 70, Williams. At right guard, number 69, Dan Funk. At left tackle, number 74, Paul Barron. At right tackle, number 63, Cody Reiser. At running back, number 28, Kevin Fontenot. At running back, number 33, Curtis Dickey. At fullback, number 34, Kevin Knapp. At wide receiver, number 88, Reggie Reinhardt. At wide receiver, number 84, Webster Slaughter. At wide receiver, number 86, Brian Burnett. At tight end, the NFL's all-time leading tight end receiver,
They are ready in Cleveland. Bob Tastis, back to you.
All right, Don, but don't go too far away. We'll ask you and Bob Trumpy to crank it up in just a few moments. Kickoff is just a couple of minutes away. I'll be back at halftime with Ahmad Rashad, Paul McGuire. Frank DeFord will join us as well, and, of course, Don Shula. Enjoy the first half, everybody.
The National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. From Cleveland Stadium, it's the AFC Divisional Playoff game. The New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. Brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By the new shape of the Mercury Cougar. Mercury, the shape you want to be in. And by the...
The result is 2nd and 20 for the Browns.
Gets time, but it's slapped right back at him, and here's another penalty marker down. They might have Gastineau on a late hit. Hey, the big guy has been playing with a vengeance today, though. They can't hold him out.
Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, but Gastineau gets by Farron. Ball away, and Gastineau continues. He wasn't the only one either.
The quarterback, number 99. That's 15. That's a first down.
Had so many chances. One built-in timeout with that 2-minute warning.
Browns need a touchdown, an extra point, and a field goal just to tie. Throw and a catch by Brian Brennan, and he's down at the 3-yard line as we're down to 2:15 to play.
Number 77, near side. He's an ineligible number, playing an eligible spot.
Kevin Mack might be slanting to the right side, the left side of the Jet defense. Kevin Mack is in, standing up. Lead blocker was Everett, and now it is a 20-16 game, 1:57 to play, the extra point coming up.
And now those 2 missed field goals by Mark Mosley, really large. Good job here by the offensive line. Excellent lead block by Everett on Kyle Clifton, and Kevin Mack goes in for the score. One thing about the Browns, they were known a few years ago as the cardiac kids. Nobody's left today.
Mosley hits the extra point. That was a very big one. Browns, if they can get the ball back and get in field goal range, could send it to overtime, but that's a long way off. Back now.
Setting up a return, Don.
And this is a guy that's already brought one back the distance this year. McNeil from his 22. He's out to the 32-yard line. And so with 53 seconds to play, the Browns send out their offense looking to get in field goal range to tie it and send it to overtime. They'd love to take it in and win it, but a field goal is a much higher probability.
Longest field goal that Mark Mosley has made for the Browns, 45 yards.
Has been intercepted twice. The Jets have not turned over the ball in this game. Long ball, Brian Brennan. Tipped away, penalty marker at the 42-yard line. And the clock is stopped on the flag with 47 seconds to play. The Browns down by 3, about 15 yards from field goal range.
Carl Howard, he'd have been better off if he grabbed Brennan. To push, they get the entire yardage at the point where the flag is thrown. If he pulls him to the ground, it's a 10-yard penalty. That ends up being a 26-yard play.
26-yard penalty. So now the pressure's on the Jets as the Browns come out of the huddle, the heavy favorite in this game. If they could come back and somehow win it, they'd have the home field for the American Conference Championship game. Right now, looking to get in field goal range, Kosar. Backpedaling, long ball, Webster Slaughter. He's got the ball. He's down to the 5-yard line. And the Browns have indeed a chance to win it.
Clock goes 35, 34. They got to get set up, throw the ball out of bounds, and stop the clock. Quit celebrating.
Yeah, they're going to congratulate themselves right out of a football game.
24 seconds, 23. Throw the ball out of bounds. Throw the ball out of bounds.
Looks like we're going to go to overtime unless this goes in. Tipped away at the last moment. Slaughter was open. And we're down to 11 seconds, so the Browns have a chance to throw it again.
but they really celebrated their way out of at least one play, maybe two.
Absolutely. Guys from the bench were filing out on the field. This is the gutty Bernie Kosar. He throws it to Webster Slaughter, and actually Russell Carter has pretty good coverage on it. But Slaughter, who has dropped several passes today, makes the big catch. They're going for the field goal on this down. 11 seconds left.
And the thinking being, and just in the case there was an errant snap, the holder could field the ball and call timeout, and they'd still have a chance to get it away again. Second down with 11 seconds left.
Mosley brought in when Matt Barr tore up his knee. Brian Brennan goes in there to hold. Now here comes Gossett. He's the normal holder. The snapper, let's account for everybody here. Scott Nicholas.
Snap and set down. Kick on the way.
Remarkable.
It's up and good. And the Browns with 7 seconds to play rally back and tie the game, and we're going to go to overtime. Firing a kick return for a score by the Jets. Listen to Cleveland Stadium.
Don, how can the Jet defense play so well for 59 minutes and in the last minute seem to take on that "we've got this game won" attitude and allow the Browns to go how many yards on that drive? They started at, with a 68-yard, a 62-yard drive with the field goal by Mosley.
As we pointed out earlier, since the National Football League went to overtime play in 1974, the Cleveland Browns have won more overtime games than any team in the league. They've not won a playoff game since 1969.
And I'll tell you, if Cleveland wins this football game, these fans will spend the night in this stadium.
Line drive kick. JoJo Townsell, if he doesn't bring it back the distance, we're going to overtime. He's not done till he gets to 39, but that'll do it. The Browns rally back from 10 points behind in the fourth quarter to tie the game, and we're going to overtime at Cleveland.
These core players led the Browns into battle one last time in Cleveland.
Hey, program! Souvenir football programs, final edition!
26 years season's ticket holder. I'm going to cut my seat out. You got it, man. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Last game in the stadium. Got to show a good performance. Finishing off on a positive note.
Turn it up, fellas! Turn it up, fellas!
In the twilight of the long history of Cleveland Stadium, the Browns had one thought in mind: preserve the legacy. Fittingly, it was a showcase for the team leaders. Ernest Biner ran for 121 tough yards. Pepper Johnson had 9 tackles and 1 pickoff.
Ball is tipped, intercepted by Pepper Johnson, 35 to the 30 to the 25 to the 20 to the 18-yard line. And the Browns are set up nicely.
And Vinny Testaverde's 22 for 32 performance made sure the Browns would leave their city the same way they entered, as winners.
Vinny, play action, looking, throws, Hartley, touchdown, Cleveland Browns. Vinny Testaverde a yard from the tight end from Illinois.
I saw the line, the tackle was back. I had to jump over the tackle. And I knew you threw it. So as soon as I jumped over, I looked, the ball was in there. Oh. Yeah, baby.
He's going to put it up. He's looking, has time, throws, end zone, McCardle, touchdown, Cleveland Browns. 16-yard strike, Testaverde to McCardle. What an amazing turn of events. And quite a few fans are turning their attention to memorabilia at this point, Doug. There are whole sections here now without seats as they want to take a part of this storied place home with them.
The majesty of victory soon faded, and as the final moments of the Browns in Cleveland dwindled away, the players made perhaps the most heroic gesture of the NFL season.
As Dana Hall and several other players now head to the dog pound. This is quite a scene. Everyone is on their feet as the players continue to walk up in front of the dog pound. They just want to hold on to the memories, see some of the players for the final time. They just and stay warm in the memories of so many years.
Nobody wants to let this moment go. Nobody wants this team to go. Nobody inside these walls.
In the end, time ran out on the Cleveland Browns. The wood, brick, and concrete stadium on West 3rd Street now houses bare, ruined choirs whistling softly of years gone by. But the memories of the 1995 Browns, the constant reminders of their courage, will never leave the hearts and minds of the citizens of Cleveland.